Hello everybody, your boy Zack's back to attack in another video, and today we are going to be reviewing, as the title says, The Accountant. Now, the new Accountant movie is coming out here. Is it already out? It's already out. Yeah, it's out. The Accountant 2, and I'm excited to see that. I love Jon Bernthal and pretty much anything he's in. He's just a great actor. Ben Affleck, great actor. So I really wanted to, and it looks good. It looks good. It looks like it might be good. And I did like the first one. So I kind of wanted to take a look at it because it's been a long time since I've watched this movie. And I remember I gave it a very high score. And now that I've watched it again, under my newer kind of way of how I rate things and stuff like that, it's gone down. But I to be fair, the score I gave it was unreasonably high, and I think it was recency bias. Like, whenever you just watch a movie and you're like, oh, that's so great, and then like weeks go by, months go by, maybe you'll watch it again, or years go by and you watch it again and you're just like, oh yeah, I remember that being better. I guess I was just on that hype train for this. But still a good movie, So anyways, let's get into it. The Accountant follows Christian Wolf, a boy with autism who develops skills such as mathematics, puzzle solving, and combat. He grows up to become an accountant for criminal organizations. When he uncooks the books for a new client, the Treasury Department starts looking more into his activities, and they get closer and closer to him as the body count starts to rise. Now, this film has like a bunch of stars in it. There's Ben Affleck, there's Anna Kendrick, J.K. Simmons, Jon Bernthal, Jeffrey Tambor, we got John Lithgow, Jean Smart. I totally forgot that she was in this. I didn't know that she was in this until I rewatched it. I was like, oh, she's in it. I'm watching the show she's stars in called Hacks. So I was just like, yeah, it's her. This whole cast is like star-studded. And the trailer also hooked me. I remember the trailer very vividly because, trailers that really stand out to me, like, I really enjoy like a good trailer that like shows you like just enough, and then like it gains that intrigue for the audience to go see it. And I remember that trailer, like the song, the shots in it and in the trailer for The Accountant. This was really good and it hooked me and it made me want to go see it, and I really loved it. And I still love it. It's a good movie, but it does have its flaws, as I've come to kind of see in this recent viewing. Now, for starters, let's just get into the cinematography. I think the cinematography was good. It was decent. I mean, like, it wasn't like anything spectacular. There isn't anything that like jumped out at me and I was like, oh yeah, that there, ooh, that was cool. It was fine. The action, it was well choreographed, right? Like for as little as it was. And the action, like whenever you see the trailer for this movie or whenever you see like things for this movie, you're like, oh, that's going to be like a huge action film. No, actually not. This movie has very limited action. And in fact, it only does action to really honestly carry the story to where it needs to go, which is, that's good. That's good. Not just doing action for the sake of action, unless that's kind of the type of movie you're going for, which doesn't seem like The Accountant is. The Accountant is trying to actually tell a story, and it does pretty good at what it set out to do. So for the action, there really isn't a whole lot of action like throughout the entire thing, and that could like kind of bore people while watching this movie. I could see that happening. That could, there's like moments where you're just like, we could speed this up a little bit, but when it does happen, it is pretty well done, and so I like those moments, but it's very far and few in between, So the cinematography, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It's decent. I mean, there just isn't really anything like when it comes to cinematography that I'm like, oh wow, that was, it was just like, what you see here is what you see in your basic film out there. So that's why I was like 6 out of 10. It's a good score. It's not a bad score. People think 6 out of 10 is a bad score. It's a good score. 6 out of 10 for the cinematography. As for the dialogue, I also give it a 6 out of 10. I think the dialogue was, it was well done. Like the actors, they portrayed the lines well. I mean, like it was written well enough, like for an act, like, but there were like some like lines here and there that I was like, ooh, that was a little cringe or whatever, but very few, not like a huge amount. Really the cringe parts came to with like just like certain part. There was certain parts of like the action. I was just like, but it's so minor, so it's not like that big a gripe, but it's noticeable. But the dialogue, it was good, decent. You know, there wasn't anything like, there's no like lines I can really think back to from this movie, and I just watched it. I literally just got done watching it, and I sat down and I'm doing this. I can't really remember any solid lines from it, but the actors did portray them well. And, you know, just like in general, the writing was good. It was good for what it was trying to tell. So that's a, you know, 6 out of 10, like I said. But let's get to the plot. The plot is it's kind of the issue. And like, I don't dislike the plot per se, but it's just like there's so many different factors whenever you go back through this movie. Like there's the you know, they're building up and probably the most like important, like impactful part of this film is the part where it pertains to Christian Wolf and like his backstory and how that ends up tying into this film. And so, you know, like, so that stuff, that's interesting. That's good. That's great. Then there's like the Treasury Department with J.K. Simmons. There's, you know, they're trying to investigate Christian Wolf, and it's like, it's treated as like such a minor part of the movie. J.K. Simmons barely in this movie, and that's fine. He does have some impactful parts, which harkens back to the dialogue, because they do, instead of showing, they just kind of tell you like a lot of his backstory, which I guess is because had they like tried to just show that, the movie would have been way longer than it needed to be, and it was already like in parts it dragged here and there. So I understand, but like, because there's segments with J.K. Simmons' character, Ray King, that, you know, he's kind of like telling us the backstory of Ben Affleck's character, Christian Wolf, and just like his relation to him, where he's had like an encounter with him once before. And it like, I will say J.K. Simmons, he does like make it impactful, and it's really like, it's a good performance, but he is just kind of telling the audience his story instead of us actually seeing it happen before our eyes. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I guess for time constraints, I guess it works. I think it does take away from it a little bit though. So yeah. And then like the Treasury Department investigations on Christian Wolf aside, you know, you see Christian Wolf, he's got a new client, with John Lithgow's character, and then just like after looking into that with Anna Kendrick's character Dana, they end up like being targeted for looking into this, and then all sorts of people end up dead, and there's a hitman kind of taking out these people and stuff on behalf of that guy's client, and the hitman is John Bernthal's character. Whenever it comes to the plot, it's just like, it's like we're here, and then we're here, and then we're here, and I'm like, which part is like the main story and which is the B plot kind of story that carries the on the sidelines? I couldn't tell which one was supposed to be the most important. And it turns out it's actually the Treasury investigations on Christian Wolf with J.K. Simmons, his stuff. That's kind of the side stuff. And I mean, really, the main core of this thing was was Christian Wolf and his backstory, how he kind of became the accountant, and his connections to people in the present day. And that's really what this, it's called The Accountant. It's about the accountant, and obviously that should be the crux of the story, but sometimes it just felt like there was just a little bit too much going on, and like those things should have they should have had more attention put on those little B plot stories, but it's whatever. There was like a couple reveals in this film. The main one happens, you know, in the big crux of the climax of this film. And I was sitting in the theater at the time with my brother, and he called it like right at the beginning of the film. He's like, "Hey, this," and I was like, "Oh, that would be cool." And then it turned out to be true, and I was like, "Ah, man, look at you getting that!" I was like so proud of him. Oh, brother, look at you doing guessing stuff. So that was cool. And then there was like a little thing I didn't even remember this from the last time I watched this. So watching this, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so there's like a character that turns out to also be a different character, kind of. I don't know how. I'm trying not to spoil it in case someone wants to go watch it. Anyways, that gets revealed at the, like, pretty much the last couple scenes, and then you're like, oh, that's cool. I forgot about that. So, well, wasn't that memorable of a plot? You know, like, of like a plot twist. I don't even know if you called it a twist, really, but that was interesting. Anyways, the plot is a 6 out of 10. All right, now we're going to get into the characters. Now, first of all, the acting obviously was very well done. We have like very talented actors in here. Like I said, you know, Ben Affleck, Anna Kendrick, J.K. Simmons, John Bernthal, John Lithgow, Jeffrey Tambor. Gene Smart. You know, there's all sorts of like very talented actors in here, and they really do, like, even though like I think the writing is like it's decent, like it's not bad. They really take it up a notch in their performances, especially John Bernthal. And like, I'm not like, seriously, like I was watching this and I was like, he is the kind of the scene stealer here. And I remember I felt the same way back whenever I was watching this back in 2016 with I went to go to see this in theaters with my brother. And the scenes John Bernthal is in this film are very limited. He is not on screen a whole lot, but when he is, his presence is everything. Like, it takes up everything that's going on. Like, just the small scenes, he's just amazing. He's amazing. And like, I haven't seen a performance with John Bernthal that I didn't like. I think he's a tremendous actor. And the part, honestly, that I remember the most about why he's so great is towards the end, there's like some stuff pertaining to his character, and like he realizes something, and in that moment, it's all unspoken. It's all in his eyes. Like, you go watch that scene, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's all in his eyes. You can just see him like going through the mental gymnastics of like, wait a minute, is this what's going on? Is this what I think this is? You know, like, it's all there in his emotion. It's so good. Like, it's just a small little part of the movie, but it was so good. And then just like in the other little segments where he's just being an intimidating, threat. He's so good. He's so charismatic. Just even when he's not trying to be, he's a great actor. I love John Bernthal. And Ben Affleck, I also thought, did a great job. He portrayed the character very well. I believed he, was a person with autism. His eyes were just like, not that everybody's like that with autism, but like he always averted his eyes, and it just like he took some things a little seriously. And there's just like the way he like talks to people, I think was just really well done. And like, there's just moments where he actually did make me laugh. Like, I think that was good. And that is all in his performance, really. I'm sure it's part of the writing as well, but like, just the way he like did it is good. Anna Kendrick, she was good. Her role is very limited. I thought I remember her being a lot bigger part of this movie, but she wasn't. She's there a little bit. That's about it. She's good. I mean, she's a great actress. I haven't seen anything that I didn't like her in. Even as limited as a role as this, she was good. And just like everybody else, they were good. I feel like John Lithgow, he was good, but I don't know. His character didn't really have a whole lot, I think, to work with. So he just did what he could with what he had. But so that's no fault of his. And then, whenever it goes to like the characters, of the actual story and stuff, I think they were interesting enough. Obviously Kristen Wolf's character is the most important one. As for the other characters, I think there is some depth that is given to like J.K. Simmons' character, Anna Kendrick's character a little bit. John Bernthal's is pretty. I think his character was pretty good. Even Jeffrey Tambor, even with like as limited of a role that he has in this film, I think he does really well with even the scenes where he's not speaking. Like he does really well in conveying the right like emotion and stuff. So so I mean, everybody's like characters, they were good. But the ones like that really mattered The ones that were like important and they should have had more depth and stuff, I would say like Anna Kendrick's character, like it was good, but like her character, I mean, it's like it's forgettable. Her character's forgettable. But Kristen Wolf is the one you want to get right, and they did. And J.K. Simmons was good, and then John Bernthal's good, and Jeffrey Tambor's good. But everybody else is just like, the actors did good, but the writing for their character is just like, the characters weren't like, so like, they weren't memorable, you know. But anyways, I still think the characters were great and interesting enough, and that's why I give the characters in this a 6.5 out of 10. As for the emotional impact, I already kind of went over that. You know, John Bernthal, he was really good, especially when he wasn't speaking. Same with Jeffrey Tambor. And I think everybody brought their A game when it came to acting. As for, you know, really having that emotional impact, I mean, you know, Ben Affleck, he did make me laugh a couple times. John Bernthal, you know, I was like, wow, that's some great acting, and made me invested. And then, you know, Jeffrey Tambor, also same thing. You know, I was invested and I thought I was good. And so, yeah, there were times I was laughing. There's times I was like, oh, you know, that's interesting. Okay, you know. So, emotional impact, 6.5. I'm going to go with 6.5 on that, you know, because not every movie can really, like, not every movie's going to make you laugh or, you know, feel invested or just feel like you could feel it, you know, like what's going on with the characters, you know. And this movie did it. Not a huge amount, but they did it. And so I'm going to give it the emotional impact a 6.5 out of 10. And so we got emotional impact, we got 6.5 out of 10. The characters, 6.5 out of 10. Plot, 6 out of 10. Dialogue, 6 out of 10. Cinematography, 6 out of 10. And we're going to go ahead and take all those numbers and munch them up. And the overall score for 2016's The Accountant, I'm going to give it a 6.2 out of 10. It is good. It is a good movie. I recommend it. I think it is enjoyable. You know, the actors were good. The characters were interesting. There's still a lot left to be desired whenever it comes to this movie. Like, it just feels like there could have been more, or this could have been just done a little bit differently, a little bit better. There's certain plots that could have been more expanded upon, or some cut altogether to make room for the others. But there is an Accountant 2 coming out, so hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe it'll precede this film. That usually doesn't happen with sequels, so probably not, but who knows, maybe. But all in all, it's still a good film, and you know, I'm excited to see The Accountant 2, because this time we're actually going to see Ben Affleck and John Bernthal's characters more. Like, we're going to see them like actually interact a whole lot more. They didn't get a whole lot of interaction in this film, so I'm really excited. Like, I've seen some of the trailers for The Accountant 2, and it looks like it might be interesting. I can already tell John Bernthal, he's going to be the scene stealer yet again. But we're gonna get more of them, so he's gonna be stealing the scene a whole lot more. So who knows? Maybe this second film will be even better than this one. Who knows? Guess we'll have to wait and see, because I'm gonna go see that soonish. So yeah. Anyways, without further ado, fellow Zack lights, if you liked the video, please leave your boy Zack a like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm Zack Tech. You're you. Thanks for watching.